Welcome back to TenNapel Tuesday. We are continuing our look at Earthworm Jim, at philosophy, at the works of Doug TenNapel. And like I said a few weeks ago, he started up Doug TenNapel in Exile Archives. And on that first video on the archives, he put out a video that basically was how to build a fish tank. As he built that fish tank, all it was is he was saying, hey, watch this. I'd love to get this channel monetized, which more power to you. I am absolutely in love with the fact that he donates money to a crisis pregnancy center. My wife and I do that on a yearly basis as well. We take a percentage of our income, which is not very high, and we donate it to a crisis pregnancy center. And that's an important topic for us. This topic of protecting children and putting our money where our mouth is, that's unbelievably important. So if we can give money and say we are going to support the cause of someone who's going to stand up and say, you have another option other than abortion, we're going for it. And so I hope you guys would join me in that. Find a crisis pregnancy center, encourage that. It's a beautiful thing. And so we're continuing this idea of some of the philosophy of Doug TenNapel and some of the stuff that he's worked at. Now, about this idea of black and white. That was a big part of his book. Again, we kind of went through just the fact that he took extra strides to make this as beautiful as possible. I love the work that he puts into things. Recently, there was a Black Friday sale, so it's actually a few months now. But he put out his graphic novels, buy one, get one half off. So I already owned this one. My kids loved it, but I really, really wanted it signed. And so there you go. And so I got that one signed. I got cardboard, and again, it was signed with the little newt, because if you know Doug TenNapel, newts are a really big thing. I'm assuming that's a newt larva. And again, a little cardboard box and a sign. And then Ghostopolis, which is fun. He actually had to sign it here. The little ghost. You see him right there, really small. Okay. And then even Bad Island, which was just kind of fun. He drew an island. And so there you go. One of the things I really appreciated, it was such a minor thing too. There's little things that artists do, there's little things that creators do that just kind of go above and beyond. And so in my office down at the main part of camp, there is this magnet, and it's basically this picture, but it's just in magnet form. And it was just a freebie, just thrown in there, no reason whatsoever other than just, hey, have a magnet. And I really appreciated it. I'm a sucker for just little things. Essay number 2. In essay number 2, he talks about good and evil, and he says good and evil is black and white. And he says once upon a time, there were heroes. Then some idiot came up with the idea of an anti-hero. It wasn't a one-off either. The idea that an anti-hero became the primary form of heroism depicted in Western story for the last 20 years. Remember when stories used to have a massive build-up to a hero overcoming incredible odds? He had to face and beat some gnarly dragon or the world would not have peace. Perhaps our lives are so full of turmoil that we can't have peace anymore. Poor us. Too many powerful supercomputers we carry with us in our phones. I complain in the summer because the beloved Mrs. TenNapel runs the air conditioner until my bed is a freezer. In the winter, I turn on the heater and hope to warm up the room, but the beloved Mrs. TenNapel says the house is a furnace and turns on the air conditioner in the winter. The point is, we have air conditioning. Do you know who didn't have air conditioning? Nearly every person who ever existed. In fact, look it up. Because it's a fact. Anyway, by sheer percentage, almost no one knew what a machine-cooled house felt like. I'm off track. Let's get back to the good and evil in story. Storytelling is a place where moral individuals can live, try, fail, and ultimately succeed. Then came the existentialist, the postmodernist, and the relativist, philosophies that believed there was no clear distinction between good and evil. Everything has 50 Shades of Grey. We became embarrassed to simply call out good and evil. It was considered judgmental, binary, and overly simplistic, and our stories followed suit. When people say things aren't so black and white, my mind goes to math. We all believe 2 + 2 = 4. We all agree that racism is wrong. There aren't many things I can even use to describe where we all agree, because there will always be some guy who says, but what if one man's racism ends up saving a busload of children? That's how we're conditioned to think. It's not that we swallowed the jettison of black and white morality. It came in through the back door. We used specific instances to overturn a general statement. The auto industry learned quickly that wearing a seatbelt saved lives in a car accident. Widespread use of seatbelts saved countless lives. Then, one person was wearing a seatbelt, and the strap going across his shoulders slit their throat and they bled to death. Another car went into a lake and the driver couldn't get a malfunctioning seatbelt unbuckled in time before drowning. Now, if I say that seatbelts save lives, it would be wrong to bring up specific examples of the few deaths caused by wearing a seatbelt. You see, wearing a seatbelt is a generalization, and dying while wearing a seatbelt is a specific. You can't counter generalizations with a specific. In argument, one must compare generalizations with generalizations and must compare specifics to specifics. I think that's a really powerful thing to think about, and I've been meditating on it lately. It's just a really big thing. We have to compare like with like. And there are times where the generalization of black and white is true. And that's what I appreciate, again, about this book. I think it's a thing of beauty. I think the philosophy is a powerful thing. And that's why I really just appreciate the work that was done with this. And so guys, I hope you've enjoyed just a little bit of reading out of this book. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of TenNapel Tuesday on the Janus Project.